Hello, I'm Blix, and welcome to Buying Lolita Secondhand. This panel is intended to, help you find where to find used pieces. So a lot of Lolita, it's a lot easier to buy firsthand now, but buying secondhand is still really important. So, that says why buy secondhand? I don't know how this picture wound up right here, but it did. Okay, so you buy secondhand for a few different reasons. Lolita's released in really small batches, so you only have so much time to buy a specific piece. If there's something you really love and you miss when it's in stock, they typically don't restock Lolita. Sometimes you have to hit it during a pre-order period, so not even after the item has been produced. You have to get it before the item's been produced. Let me know if I'm speaking too fast. So sometimes you don't even get a full stocking. You only wind up ordering it in the pre-order, and that's the only time you have to buy that item. Another reason is for budget reasons. So typically, but not always, secondhand is going to be cheaper than firsthand. Some items do climb in value, but most of your items are going to be cheaper secondhand. It's a really robust community for secondhand. Lolitas all over the world swap their items. So you can usually find about anything that you're looking for eventually. Eventually being the key word. It's a lot of fun too because there's some items, especially really limited releases that they only made a few of, that you can actually track from different communities. So you can see it move across the country, you can see it move across the globe. It's really fun. Next slide. All right, so there are a couple downsides to secondhand. The first one, the worst one, is that when you buy something secondhand, you're not actually putting any money into the brand's pockets. So even though we love these brands, we're not directly supporting them by buying our items secondhand. There is an argument to be made that when you buy something secondhand, you're increasing its value, so people feel better about buying it the first time. But in general, it doesn't really. We have brands that have closed because people are just trading their items secondhand. You're also at mercy for whatever condition that the item is in. It's kind of how well it was stored, how much it's been worn in the past. This is a particular problem in items that are made from PVC, especially in our... Can y'all hear my dog? So I live in the southern US and we have a really high humidity most of the time. And PVC items peel and break down over time. So they've only got so long a lifespan. Right, they're cheering me on. They're barking at my mother who just came in, of course. Anyways, so PVC items only have so long you can wear them for. Their lifespan is very finite, especially if you live somewhere like in the southern US with high humidity, or somewhere like Japan has very humid summers. South America has very high humidity. Places like that have shorter lifespans for their PVC anyways. So when you buy something used, you know you've only got a limited amount of time that you can still wear it. We have a big problem in secondhand with scalpers, people who'll buy items when they're new in store, and then they sell them in the secondhand markets for more than they were originally worth, so they're after a profit. That's a scalper. These can be a very big problem, and the brands themselves have a tendency to limit how many of an item that you can order for this reason. Um, Also, one other con of buying something secondhand is there's no real customer service channels. So if you don't like something for any reason, you can't send it back. If it has damages that weren't disclosed, you can't send it back. Um, if it doesn't fit, you can't take it back. Though those are all typical problems with buying Lolita in the first place. So it's kind of the same. All right, so before you start looking for something secondhand, know a few things. If you're looking for a particular piece, you want to do a little research on that piece first. Make sure you know how much it costs originally. Make sure you know how much it typically sells for, not just how much people are listing it for, because that's back to the scalper issue. You want to know what people actually buy it for. You want to know if your item has replicas. Not every Lolita item has replicas. That's not something that every dress winds up with, but some popular dresses wind up with a lot of replicas. And now with fast fashion really rolling in, you see more lower quality replicas, like Shein's been doing a whole lot of replicas lately. And those are really obvious if you know what you're looking for. So just do a little before work. If you want something really quickly, if you're on a time frame, you're going to pay more. If you want something cheaper, you're going to have to be patient about it. Patience is really the key on getting a good deal. If you find something online, that's going to be the only one. You're not going to be able to, somebody can't buy it, and then you buy another one. The dogs are back at it. So you can't really wait if it's something you really want to buy. Don't ever don't skip out on food or anything like that. But you can't really wait around and expect it to be in stock. Nobody's keeping it on the side for you. You have to be prepared to not get this item sometimes, especially if it's an auction. Somebody may outbid you, and it feels bad, man. It does. It feels bad. So as long as you're mentally prepared to not get this item, it's just clothes. There's nothing in Lolita that will make or break your life. Then it's great. It's a great time. I personally love the hunt for something secondhand. It gives me a little thrill when you find something that you've been looking for at a good price. So I'm big on patience. I have dresses that I waited 10 years to buy at the price I wanted to, and I found them. You just gotta play the long game. All right, so a couple common terms. Some of these were more popular when Lolita was traded mostly on forums, so especially LiveJournal had a really big secondhand community, and you would see these abbreviations a lot. You still see them a little bit when I left Facebook. You still saw them sometimes on Facebook, but the Facebook secondhand marketplace was pretty dead. You still see them around. You still see them on lace market sometimes, and they're a good thing to know when you look at some of the foreign auction sites, because they'll translate kind of this way too. So ISO, in search of, so that's somebody has posted something that they're looking for. They don't have this item, they want this item. DSDT, that's direct sale or direct trade. So that's going to be direct means person to person. So you're going to be talking to a person, not a shop. WTB, WTS, WTT, want to buy, sell, or trade. SS, meaning shopping service. So that's going to be a company that's going to buy your item and handle the transaction for you and then they're going to send it to someone in another country. A forwarding service is very similar to a shopping service, except they don't actually handle the transactions. So you're going to use the warehouse address as your own address, but you're going to do all of the transacting. And then NWT or NWOT is going to be new with tags or new without tags. So this is going to be something that's never been worn. One second. Okay. All right. So the easiest way, I do not know why the format did this on so many pictures. The easiest way to buy something secondhand is to do in-person swap meets or community sales. So if you know somebody within your community that's selling something, you can buy it from them. And then also many communities will host swap meets. So everybody brings the items that they're trying to rehome. I love these because you don't have to take pictures of your stuff. And I love a low effort sale personally. I hate to list things online, so I love to sell things in person. You get to see the item in person, so you get to visually yourself inspect for any damages that are there. Nobody can hide anything from you. And then often you can try it on, which is really good if you have an odd size. Yeah, who doesn't love a good swap meet? You don't have to watch the postman and like stalk him and track his GPS around your city. He doesn't have to deal with you at all. And then also most people's communities have an online area set up in whatever forum they're using. Our community uses Discord. We have a channel in Discord for if somebody in the community wants to buy or sell or swap or whatever. I've seen a lot of them on Facebook. LiveJournal used to be the place. Just dating myself. But yeah, who doesn't love a swap meet? Yeah, a lot of the times at a swap, people will set up a freebie basket too. So for like little odds and ends and stuff they don't feel good charging about, they'll put like a little free area. I love those. I find so many like pins. I love pins and brooches, like random little things. All right, another pretty easy way, a pretty straightforward way to buy something secondhand is through thrifting storefronts. These are really cool because it's set up like any other web store. You add something to your cart and then you check out. They're pretty overseas friendly. There aren't as many of them as there used to be. Monopolies have happened and things like that in the economy. But we still have a few of them hanging around. They have a good grading system that makes it really easy to see kind of what condition what you're getting is in, and their reputation is built on transparency, so you can pretty much be assured that you're going to have the damages flagged. They're a little more expensive than buying something direct. So, excuse me. Because they have to make a profit, they have to buy it and then they have to mark it up a little bit. So it's a little more expensive, but it's easier. So the 4 I know about right now are Closet Child is my favorite to shop from. I find their service really fast. It's a little harder to get sent to the States right now because EMS isn't working, but you can still do it. It's just expensive. Wonderwelt is very popular. A lot of people know Wonderwelt these days. I find them to be a little more expensive than Closet Child on average, but they have so much stuff that you can find a lot more on there now. Those are both based in Japan. Doll Funeral is the secondhand portion of it's run by the same person who runs Gloomth, which is a Canadian brand, so their shipping is usually a little better than Wonderwelt or Closet Child's. They're newer, so they don't have as much inventory as the other two. And then if you're in NYC, Live Bait is pretty new. I haven't been there because I don't live anywhere near NYC, and they don't have an online shop. But I have heard of them, so they made the list. All right, and then secondhand e-commerce sites. These are the real nitty-gritty now. So in the US, we have Lace Market, we have Depop, and we have Poshmark. So Lace Market is going to be, excuse me. Lace Market is going to be an auction site similar to an eBay. People used to use eBay for Lolita a little bit, but mostly you don't see anybody who's not a scammer on eBay selling Lolita anymore. Depop and Poshmark are both sort of direct sale portals. It's very much a buyer beware situation, and I highly recommend that you only use those two websites if you really know a lot about the items that you're looking at, because I've seen a lot of people, the way their tags work, it's not very easy to put smaller brands on there. And I've seen a lot of items that are knockoffs or dupes sold for the same price that you would sell the original for. For instance, I saw what I know to be Antina shoes that were marked up the same price as the original Miho Matsudas would have been. They were like $300, which, if you have bought Antina shoes before, you know is not the price they should retail at. So it's important, if you're on Depop or Poshmark, to know what you're looking at. In Japan, they use Mercari and Yahoo Auctions and Rakuten. I feel like I forgot one there, but I don't remember what it is. Right, we know those shoes. Those were not them. Those were foam soles. So yeah, Mercari, Yahoo Actions, and Rakuten are the big three that I know of in Japan. You need either a shopping service or a forwarding service. Oh, I'm so glad. I was hoping somebody would find this useful. My favorite shopping service to use for Japan is Bai. It's just really easy. I've also used World Shopping. I've never used a forwarding service, but Tenso's pretty popular. I really like Bai though, because it's got the portal and you can just flip through it through Bai. In China, Zhanyu, I think is how you say it. I'm not the right guy to pronounce this word. I think it's Zhanyu though. You can use Spree Now, or you can use a Taobao account. I think some places will send it directly to the US, but I'm not really sure how. Close. Close is good for me. I've not actually... They say that this is where the deals are, is this marketplace in China, because they're so big. But I haven't personally found anything for a good price on there. I think because my favorite brand is BPN, and BPN is actually pretty high over there. So they know what they're looking at. Yeah, it is a little intimidating. Whoops. One of the things about Zhanyu is that the Chinese Lolita community uses different terms than a lot of the rest of us because they're pretty insulated. So this guide that I've linked, and I will post these links in the Discord too, has a really good set of terms that you can search for. that are really helpful because they don't use a lot of the same terms that we would use on the other websites. And for shopping services from Taobao or from Jianyu, I like Spree now personally. And Lace Market. So we're gonna go through, We're gonna go through Lace Market. This one is the biggest one in the US. It charges no listing fees, which is fantastic. It does go down sometimes or glitch out. It's run by a really small team, and we really appreciate them because they've made buying secondhand in the US way easier. But sometimes there are some little website glitches. It is where most people in the US buy and sell right now. Yeah, it's right. It's all Cloudflare, honestly. Love saved. Yeah, Lace Market is the best. So we're gonna flip over there and I'm gonna figure out how to do this. 1 second. Let's see if I swap. Share. Okay, can y'all see it? I hope so. I hope y'all can see that. Okay, so what's our time doing? Pretty good. Okay, so this is Lace Market. And as you can see, we've got new arrivals here at the top and a sorted price down area. This area is going to be like recent activities. So you're going to go to sign up. That was really easy whenever I signed up. I signed up when it first started, though. Now you do have to verify that you're a real man, but that's actually very useful. So if you click on any listing, we're going to click on these shoes here, flip through all the pictures, and make sure they look like you want them to look. So you can see this one has just a little bit of like cat hair or something on it. It's good to know. It's good to know if you're allergic to cats. So you can go down here to the description. They say why they're selling it. They've only worn it once. I love when people list their notes about the size. Here's the list of the damages. It's important to be very transparent if you're making a listing. Shipping price, it's important to see. Condition, what brand, damages listed. The style tags, I find people are very lax on how they tag their styles. Like I would not consider these Kuro, but you know, whatever, it's cool. The colors, I definitely recommend looking at the colors because I do Gothic and black and navy are often really easy to mix up. So if you scroll down here and you look at the colors, after looking at the pictures, you can scroll down here and you can be all like, oh, it says it's blue. And then the category. So you definitely want to click this terms of sale before you hit bid on anything. And you can see sometimes they hide things over here. They're not really hiding it. They're supposed to put it here. But there's very important information. So like here they tell you pay within 2 days. They're gonna use recycled shipping bags. They have 2 cats. If you're allergic to cats, see, I told you it was cat hair. Beware. Things like that. So if they only ship certain days of the week. They're going to put that in here. Things like that. It's good to look at the comments if there are any. You can check out the bid history. You can see if it's been bid on before. If you scroll back up here to the top, you can see the user, how many things they've sold, and where they're based out of. These are all very important things too. So we can flip over here to the profile. You can see all their other listings. You can flip over here to feedback. Feedback is super important on Lace Market. And they have only positive, which is super good. Congratulations to the seller. Hey, I know them. So it's very important when you buy something off of Lace Market to leave feedback for the seller. Not only if it was a good transaction, but if it was a bad transaction, make sure to leave that feedback or the neutral feedback. There's nothing wrong with neutral feedback. Just be honest in your feedback and be weighted in your feedback. Don't make a diary entry in their feedback. Just say something if it was important. If they take a month to send your item, you can leave that feedback that it took them a month longer than it said they would. That's good feedback till you leave. But something like, I don't know, the mailman kicked your post probably isn't good feedback. That's on the mailman. If you go up here to about, another thing that's good to look at is the blacklist. A lot of people don't know that this blacklist is on Lace Market, but this is a list of known scammers. So if somebody hits you up somewhere, you can go over here. Let's say if you're on Depop, you can go over here to Lace Market and you can cross-reference and see if somebody on Depop is on the Lace Market scammers list. And the reason they're selling on Depop is because they can't sell on Lace Market. That's very important. So the blacklist is very handy. They have a really good FAQ page. It covers things like, do you need PayPal? Yes, you do need PayPal. Lace Market only accepts PayPal. It covers, can you post replicas on the site? You cannot post print replicas. Things like that are very useful, and they have a very, very good detailed guide over here. Their terms of use is very useful. I also find the listing guidelines very useful for new people for when you're trying to sell something. But that's literally where I was. Frequently asked questions. Yeah. Getting a little ahead of myself. All right. So let's go back to browsing. The browse by functions are really great, and the search functions are really great. When you're researching something, let's say a Holy Lantern. It's really good if you're looking to see how much Holy Lantern is going for. You can pop down here to only completed, and it'll show you what Holy Lantern has sold for. So you can see what Holy Lantern's actually selling for. You can see this one was unsold. You can see that this red cut in the non-zipper version went for $200 2 years ago. So that's very handy when you're looking to see how much you want to budget for a piece. We can narrow it down by category, and we can just look at the Holy Lantern skirt. And we can see that, Somewhere in the neighborhood of $100 is what we want to buy the skirt for. Super simple. Another thing you can do is you can save this search. Oh, you have to be signed in to do that. There is a button also that you can save a search listing, and that'll give you weekly or bi-weekly or monthly. It gives you a couple different options to send you an update on on what's been listed in those search terms. So I have a couple different ones for myself. I'm looking for this dress, and it'll hit me up every so often. Nobody has listed that, or this same one is listed again, and it's $500, and you don't want to pay that. So I kind of swung through this, but does anyone have any questions? Let's see. Let's go back to slideshow. Yeah, Neon's a good one to save. Stop sharing. I think I figured that out. Do y'all see the slideshow again? Fantastic. Okay, so that's kind of an overview of how Lace Market works. My best secondhand find? I got Halloween Alice for $49 on Mercari several years ago. And that's my best secondhand find. I was really excited about it. That's my favorite. What else did I get? Yeah, it was really good. Like I said, I'm very, very patient. Tips for Taobao? It's not really a... Tips for Taobao. Save your links. Taobao's changed a lot. I used to be really, really good at Taobao. And then I got old. I don't know. But yeah, save links to your favorite shops. And don't be surprised when they change their name and no longer exist. Oh man, I remember Inbox. Inbox was so cool. So sometimes they have secondhand. Less now that they have Janyu. I wonder if Lace Market has advertising dollars. I don't think so. So the thing about Lace Market is that it was so hard to buy secondhand Lolita before Lace Market existed. So back in the day when you had to buy on LiveJournal or Facebook, or hope you could get a shopping service to send you something overseas, it was a lot more expensive to get secondhand Lolita in the States. So I just really think it's neat. I just really love Lace Market. Yeah, it's such a... I'm old, and Lolita was a lot harder to wear back when I was like 16. It was like impossible. I had one dress for the first 3 years that I was in Lolita, so but yeah, sometimes Taobao will have secondhand, but not so much since Janyu became a thing. Any other questions? I kind of zoomed through all my stuff, so. Whoops, too fast. Not too fast. Back in the day, you had the option of making your own. Yeah, exactly. It was hard. It was sketchy. Any tips for selling secondhand? My tip is to document everything. Overshare. Overshare the item's history. Overshare on pictures. If there's a little spot that could be a shadow or it could be a stain, take a picture. Because people are gonna feel better about buying your item if you've listed a bunch of stuff that doesn't even matter than they are if you don't list anything. My favorite find that I ever got secondhand, I got Halloween Alice for $49. And you know what? Actually, I have this Miho Matsuda skirt. Hang on a second. I'm in my closet right now. I have this skirt is a Miho Matsuda skirt. Is a really cute mini skirt. I love mini skirts. I'm notorious for loving leg coordinates. I got it for $11. It was $11. Yeah, I love my closet too. But yeah, so an $11 skirt is kind of unbeatable. Worst horror story of buying secondhand. I'm a Sagittarius, so I have really good luck personally. So my worst experiences are always like it took a really long time to get the item. And then I also have a terrible memory, so immediately, like, I finally get it, and then I no longer care about this scenario anymore, and it's just gone. I can't remember it anymore. I just know, the last item that December was a really bad time for me to buy Lolita, and everything in December was taking, like, an extra 6 weeks to get. So I have an item that I ordered in December that got here like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, $11 is the best deal of all time. But yeah, if there are no other questions, all the photos except for the one of like Closet Child were taken from Lace Market this morning because I didn't put this together until this morning. So if you've been looking for anything that you saw in the slideshow, it's on Lace Market right now. I have a blog that I post on more or less every week. You can follow it at moontowngoods.com. And then I'm also a part of Biblioteca, which is several J-fashion bloggers who blog together. And they put out a monthly newsletter. You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, that's it. Please enjoy the rest of the virtual convention. We love you guys.